After 50 years of wearing these things. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
okay.
Good evening and welcome to beautiful Harlan Rogers Sports Complex here in Fort Dodge, Iowa, home of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Lance Reno, I'm Tyler French, and in just a moment we're going to have a matchup between the Little Hawks of Iowa City High and the Cedar Rapids Kennedy Cougars here in 5A action on the IGHSAU Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company. And we are looking forward to a great game today as both teams coming in with some impressive runs to end the season as Kennedy comes in with a big chip on their shoulder, their fourth trip ever to state tournament, second in 3 years. Also the fourth trip ever for Iowa City High, second straight season they have made it. We'll take a look at each team after a short break. We'll be right back with potential starting lineups and a look at impact players for both units.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
All you have to do is you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and be. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
and anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
And welcome back as see both teams warming up, getting ready for 5A quarterfinal action between Cedar Rapids Kennedy and Iowa City High. It has been an impressive run for the Cougars over the last month. 3 runs is all that their pitching staff has allowed. Just an absolutely mind-boggling number to think over a month of play. 15 games, just 3 runs have crossed the plate against this Cougar team.
That's almost impossible. Pretty superlative defense, let alone pitching. And the secret up here so far in some of the games, got to play good defense. Got to be able to handle the bunt. But play good defense, don't give second chances away.
2 names that have made their presence felt on the pitching mound this year, Jamie Scheck and Kailyn Kinney, have combined to allow just 18 earned runs in over 231 innings combined this year, with over 300 combined strikeouts as well. Kailyn Kinney, the 2019 Iowa Softball Gatorade Player of the Year, also a great hitter, over 500 this year. She's got to be a player to watch and someone you've got to be very worried about if you're Iowa City High on the other side.
Did these two meet during the regular season? Doesn't look.
Yes, they did. It was a 2-1 sweep for Cedar Rapids Kennedy over Iowa City High.
That's usually a good telling point, and so you get the extra, the settling matchup at the state tournament. That's kind of neat on the draw.
Yeah, and the biggest thing too, Iowa City High, 7 losses this year, dropped them down to the 6th seed going into this tournament. 5 of their losses this year coming against 5A state qualifiers.
Again, that's an impressive record. And they were probably close games. I don't have the roster right here in front of me, but yeah.
And, like I said, 2 of those losses coming to this Cougar team on the other side of the field today. But it was in Cedar Rapids, and both games were very close, 2-1 finishes. So I think we are in store for a very exciting game. We've seen some great games on this field so far today, both of them ending in 1-run wins for Indianola and Charles City the last 2 matchups.
And Indianola came from down to take a lead, and then Johnston came back to beat them 3-2 in the last inning. When you look down the season log of the games for Kennedy, you were talking about Iowa City. I don't see many games where they gave up more than 2 runs during the course of the year.
Yep. One of their losses, a 0-1 loss to Dubuque Hempstead, always a solid team, and a 2-0 loss to Fort Dodge, another state qualifier team here at 5A, playing basically in their backyard.
Fort Dodge is a very solid ball club as well. They do the fundamentals, play good defense. They put the ball on the ground with a bunt. And I've had 2 games with them this year as an umpire, one behind the plate, and Andy Adams is a good thing going there. But they've got to get their game won so they can take on one of these 2 teams right here. Any predictions? You think I'm gathering you think it's going to be a close one.
I think it'll be a very close one. I think you're going to see Cedar Rapids Kennedy kind of pull this one out near the end of the game, and I think it'll be a great play by someone like Kinney or Albert to be the one to do it. We're going to go now to the starting lineups here from our PA announcer at Iowa Central Field.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rogers Sports Complex and this Class 5A quarterfinal game between the Iowa City High Little Hawks and the Cedar Rapids Kennedy Cougars. The winner of this game will play Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right back here on Iowa Central Field. Loser of this game will play Wednesday at 3 p.m. on Dodger time. And now let's meet the non-starters first for the visitors from City High. Number 1, Keaton Gerber. Number 2, Haley Paulson. Number 3, Georgia Kim. Number 8, Peggy Glenn. Number 10, Libby Bronx. And number 16, Mia McDonald. Assistant coaches for the Little Hawks, Molly Nicholson and Peyton Koenig. And now your starters for City High, leading off. Number 42, pitcher Ayana Lindsay. Batting second, number 22, first baseman, Ella Cook.
I think she may be the coach's daughter.
Third, number 7,
Carrie Koenig?
Carrie Koenig.
Just a thought.
Number 4, left fielder, Sydney Bellows.
She's arguably their best player, too.
Number 20, second baseman, Kelly Potter.
It's either her or Lindsay would be their best player.
Batting sixth, number 6, shortstop, Brooke Borman. Batting seventh, number 11, right fielder, Alexa Frederick. Batting eighth, number 21, third baseman, Michaela Ribble.
Yeah, I like how number 6 is batting 6 and playing 6.
Number 28, center fielder, Brianna Bentler. The head coach of the City High Blue Hawks, Jeff Koenig. And now the non-starters for the home team on the scoreboard from Kennedy. Number 1, Kailyn Ryan. Number 4, Olivia Scott. Number 19, Sam Scheck. Number 22, Olivia Herring. Number 24, Kai Johnson. Number 33, Alyssa Martin. Number 36, Keaton Gerber. And number 42, Izzy Dipple. The assistant coaches for Kennedy, Emily James, Tiana Draft, Nick LeClaire, and Nicole Meade. And now the starters for the Cougars, leading off. Number 25, shortstop, Addie Parker. Batting second, number 3, right fielder, Addie Albert. Batting third, number 44, first baseman, Kailyn Kinney. Batting fourth, number 21, catcher, Abby Spoor. Batting fifth, number 38, second baseman, Mary Christoviak. Batting sixth, number 2, designated player, Izzy Wright. Batting seventh, number 7, left fielder, Carly Smith. Batting eighth, number 23, center fielder, Lizzie Dennis. Batting ninth, number 10, pitcher, Jamie Scheck. And in the flex position, number 43, third baseman, Regan Deputy. The head coach of the Kennedy Cougars is Madison LeClaire. Ladies and gentlemen, our umpires for tonight's contest. At first base, Gary Wax. At third base, Carl Wooldridge. And calling balls and strikes, Tony Sauer. Ladies and gentlemen, who's ready for state tournament softball?
Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups are brought to you by Buena Vista University. Located in Storm Lake, Iowa, Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. Iowa City High will be taking their cuts first in the top of the first inning, while UC Cedar Rapids Kennedy will be taking the field as they do right now. In the circle today, Jamie Scheck, a .73 ERA, 166 strikeouts, 15-2 on the season. Kind of a surprise selection. Thought Kailyn Kinney might get the nod today, but Scheck, a fantastic pitcher in her own right, and has had a wonderful sophomore season this year.
Sometimes when you are in the state tournament and done tournament play, you have your regulars that you know are going to produce, but it's those freshmen and sophomores with their contributions not expected, maybe as a courtesy runner, maybe as a pinch runner, whatever, and those that have some speed. The games that I've seen today have been settled by consistent defense, being able to handle the bunt and control the running game, not giving up the extra base to the hitter or to the runner.
A lot of the games today have been decided by just a handful of runs. You know, you're always going to have your games that turn into blowouts, such as the Waukee game earlier today, but overall, you've seen some very good softball in this state tournament this year, and this field has been witness to 2 good games over the last couple of hours, and hoping to see a third one as we are going to get underway. Ayanna Lindsay leading things off for Iowa City High. 18 home runs and a .480 batting average this year. Very impressive numbers as she takes her cuts against Scheck to start this game off.
She's also the pitcher, looking at stolen bases 31, so that's indication when she gets on. It's unusual that your pitcher going to be maybe your leading base stealer.
Also the fact that your leading base stealer also has 18 home runs on the year. Just kind of a player that likes to do it all. First pitch was a ball to Lindsay. Second pitch from Scheck on the outside corner for strike number 1. Top of the first inning here at Iowa Central Field. It's the nightcap of a great day of softball here for 4A and 5A quarterfinals action. Third pitch of the at-bat. Lindsay swinging on this one, ropes it foul. Got some good power behind it, just hit it way too far out in front of it.
She's very quick with that bat. We'll see how Jamie Scheck works locations and changes speeds here.
Scheck sets, goes into her motion, delivers outside for ball number 2, evening up the count at 2 apiece.
That time Scheck came in outside, down about knee level to see if she could get Lindsay to chase after Lindsay pulled the previous pitch, pulled it down the left field line.
Lindsay hits this one, another one foul. This one going right past the third baseman. Playing over at third today is our flex player, Reagan Deputy, number 43.
And we get started on time after the long day. It's unusual when you get the last game. Usually there's an extra inning game that delays everything by about 15 minutes.
Had back-to-back games. It looked like they were going to go into extra innings over here the last couple of matchups as that one runs high and runs the count full, 3-2. First batter of the game.
Signs being called from the dugout, checking the arm and the pad there with the signals on it.
Scheck delivers to home plate, just a bit outside, and that'll be ball number 4. So early base runner here as Lindsay gets on. They'll have to worry about her on the base path, and that'll bring up the first baseman, number 22, Ella Cook. Just the 20th walk of the season for Scheck compared to 166 strikeouts. So a very nice 8-1 plus strikeout to walk ratio. And she refines the strike zone as she pumps that one in knee level for strike number 1.
Ella Cook, a sophomore. So the first 2 hitters for City High, underclassmen. And Cook, 48 runs scored.
Lindsay was running on that one, smacked foul by Cook. A lot of different power levels for this Little Hawk team. 8 different players with a home run this year, 54 as a team. Led by 18 from Lindsay and 12 from the hitter on deck, Carrie Koenig. Throw down to second, not in time as Lindsay steals second.
She got an excellent jump that time, and practically as the ball was being released, she was almost a stride and a half towards second. She covered that 60 feet pretty fast.
Now runner in scoring position, no one out, 1-2 count. As Scheck is going to look for the opportunity to set Cook down. This one fouled straight up. Giving chase and making the catch is the catcher, number 21, Abby Spohr, the cleanup hitter.
That was a tough play for her because she had to, first of all, step around the umpire, locate the ball, and then make sure she was under it.
That's also difficult when you're going towards the batter's box that the right or left-handed hitter's in.
We're going to have a factor of nature here shortly, if not already. The sun in the eyes of some of the fielders.
Yeah. First pitch to Koenig is a ball.
Most impacted will probably be at first base and also right field as the sun starts to sink a little bit lower and gets that lower angle.
Kinney over at first, no hat or sunglasses to speak of, as this one's lifted, foul out of play by Koenig. But at second base, Kristofiak is over there with the visor, should be able to help out at least a little bit.
It could have a factor. Could be a factor. Again, depends upon whether they're used to playing at this time of day or not.
1-1 the count, 1 out in the inning, runner on second base. It was a leadoff walk to Lindsay, stole second, and the pop out by Cook. That one too low, runs the count 2-1.
Doesn't look like the pitcher, Scheck, has gotten into a rhythm yet. When you get into that flow and you get the ball and you pitch it.
This one lifted, a lot of power behind that one, but well foul and out of play.
But since these two have played each other during the year, they pretty much know what the other team's trying to do and how to counter that.
It has been a long time since they matched up. Middle of June was when these two played a doubleheader in Cedar Rapids. Now traveling to the other side of the state to meet up in Fort Dodge in the state tournament.
That's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Scheck sets, delivers, just outside, full count once again. A lot of pitches being thrown by Scheck here in the first inning. Second time we've seen her run a count full in the first 3 batters.
Got at least 14 pitches, not counting the foul balls.
That one's on the outside corner, gets the strikeout. Opportunity to try and get out of this inning with no damage as she catches Koenig looking. 167th strikeout of the year for Scheck.
Fellows is a junior. She scored 28 runs on 49 hits, 34 RBI. So she's filling right into that number 3 slot, what a coach would typically be looking for there, number 4 spot.
Yep. Cleanup hitter up now, takes a strike on the outside corner. Just a little bit lower than we saw that strikeout pitch in the last at bat from Koenig.
Both teams look like they've shaken the nerves a little bit here, having to wait to play the last game of the day.
Scheck trying to work around a leadoff walk. Goes 1-1 with that pitch a little too high.
Scheck has given up only 56 hits all season long in 105 innings. So that's 1 hit every 2 innings on the average.
Been very consistent this year for Kennedy. That one too low in the dirt.
When she comes forward with that pitch, she's a little bit sideways and moves over about 3-4 inches to the left. She's got a little narrow space there. It's 24 inches wide in which she's legal to deliver. She stays right in it.
Swing and a miss on a pitch high and inside against Fellows. 2-2 count. Scheck can look for her second strikeout of the evening and end the inning without any damage. Fellows, meanwhile, trying to stay alive and possibly knock in that run at second.
Takes quite a poke to get the ball over the 200-foot fence all the way around all fields.
This one's jammed on her. It's hit over to first, and right there to put it away is Kinney on the 3 unassisted. So that'll end here, the top of the first. We'll take a break and be back with Cedar Rapids Kennedy's first trip to the dish after this.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am kind.
Kind.
I am kind.
I am strong.
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 I am important.
I am important.
I am important.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
And welcome back to Iowa Central Field. It was a leadoff walk Grabbed by Lindsay at the top of the first. Couldn't do anything with it as Scheck set down the Little Hawks 1, 2, 3 after that, thanks to a pop out, a strikeout, and a ground out to first. It'll be number 25, the shortstop, Addie Parker, leading things off for Kennedy in the bottom of the first inning. She'll be followed by number 3, Addie Albert, and number 44, Kailyn Kinney.
Lindsay has pitched 142 2/3. That's quite a bit for an underclassman.
And she's played extremely well this season, pitching well, hitting well. She's been a terror on the base paths. 19-3 is Lindsay on the year coming into this matchup. First pitch was a ball to Addie Parker. Parker shows bunt on the second pitch, but pulls it back and takes the second pitch high.
The thing that jumps out on the stats for Ayanna Lindsay is 159 strikeouts in 142 innings, but only 35 walks, so she's right around the plate.
Has struggled with her location a little bit in this at-bat, though, as she runs the count 3-0. Parker on the year, 407 average, and has gotten on base a lot this season. Only 12 strikeouts for her on the year. Takes that one right down the middle, as you usually do on a 3-0 count.
The old automatic, the old Maytag, shall we say?
Now Lindsay's got to battle back and try and even this count up. That one's low, though, and it'll be a leadoff walk on the bottom of the first, just like we saw at the top. So the shortstop gets on, and that'll bring up Albert.
Nothing good ever comes out of a walk, particularly leading off the game to the leadoff hitter, giving up a free base.
Addie Albert, a .418 hitter, looking to try and possibly advance the runner. 25 RBIs for her on the season as well. Shows bunt and unable to pull it back in time, so that'll be a strike. Only the second strike we've seen out of the first 7 pitches. That one's low for ball number 1. 1-1 the count, runner at first. No one out here in the bottom of the first inning.
How many teams would have an 8th grader batting in the number 2 spot in their lineup? Albert's an 8th grader.
Huh?
She just avoided the bunt being hit her.
It was a beautiful bunt, though, and she did her job, able to advance the runner over to second. So now Parker in scoring position for the 2019 Iowa Softball Gatorade Player of the Year, Kailyn Kinney. 506 average, 14 home runs, and a very impressive 51 walks. Teams have not wanted to pitch to her so far this season, and we're going to see it right here. She picks up walk number 52. They just send her right down the first baseline.
That sets up a double play or whatever you want to have, a force at third. Probably a good choice. It happened in the game just before we came over here a couple of times.
Based on the fact she has 14 home runs and just 79 at-bats, she's a pretty good power hitter. This one ripped through the right side of the infield. They're going to hold the runner at third, so that's going to load the bases as Spohr knocks one over into right field. So bases loaded, only one out, and that'll bring up Kristofiak. Mary Kristofiak, a junior this year, 2 home runs to her credit and a .359 average.
We're going to have a courtesy runner, I believe, for the catcher Spohr, who just got the hit. Number 4 for Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
That'll be Olivia Scott, the freshman, coming in. Reminder, substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. So Mary Kristofiak coming to the plate, bases loaded after the hit by Spohr. Looking to do some damage in the first inning, first hit of the game for either team. That's a good pitch on the outside corner from Lindsay.
Excellent location that time, just off the plate, just off the edge on the corner, and about knee-high.
Big things brewing here in the bottom of the first, potentially for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. That pitch on the inside corner, working both sides of the plate, is Lindsay in this at-bat.
She's settling down now after the jitters for the first 2 batters. Now she realizes she's got to come up with some good pitches right here.
And we saw that a little bit from Scheck on the other side. Both these pitchers sophomores this year, just a little bit outside, looked almost the exact location we saw on the first pitch.
Izzy Wright, the DP, waits on deck, and she has been studying the pattern here very intently.
Lindsay sets and goes into her windup. That's a swing and a miss. Big strikeout as Mary Kristofiak goes down on swing.
That's the first strikeout of the game after 2 walks and 1 hit. So golden opportunities, you said moments ago here for Cedar Rapids Kennedy's Cougars.
Right, a 320 hitter. Hits that one straight back. You know, and hits like that I used to flinch at earlier today, but I've gotten used to it as the day's gone on.
Try looking at that through the umpire's mask.
I don't want to.
Gives you a different perspective on the game.
Yeah. Wright takes the second pitch at the knees for strike number 2.
Again, location, inside high, outside low. Now it's a guessing game for Izzy Wright for the Kennedy. Where's she going to bring the next pitch?
After struggling with her location earlier, Lindsay is doing some great things. That one just misses the outside corner. Right down in the count, 1-2. 2 gone in the inning, bases loaded. Lindsay trying to end the inning with no damage. And Wright goes down swinging, back-to-back strikeouts for Ayanna Lindsay to end the bottom of the first inning. So they leave the bases loaded after 2 walks and a hit. It was a sac bunt and 2 strikeouts for the other 3 batters. We'll take a quick break and be back here at Iowa Central Field.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Welcome back. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy Company. Remember, leaders start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. In the past year, 112 Central College student athletes received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to be more than a spectator by visiting central.edu. The first pitch to Potter. The next batter is a strike. As we're back underway here in the top of the second inning, Kelly Potter, the batter. Scheck going into her motion. That one outside corner. Both these pitchers working that outside corner very well.
Again, keeping the other team's hitters off balance. And since they played, coaches know what the tendencies are.
This one hit right back to the pitcher. Scheck fields it, throws it over to Kinney, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Cedar Rapids Kennedy left the bases loaded in the bottom of the first. Unfortunate thing there for them, as they had an opportunity to bust this game wide open early in the contest. But Ayanna Lindsay making the pitches that she needed to, getting out of the jam after back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. And now Scheck has to try and match it and get her team back up to opportunity to hit. Scheck picked up the first out of the inning on the 1-3 ground out. That one, nice pitch at the knees for strike number 1. Hitting currently Brooke Borman, number 6, batting number 6, and playing the number 6 position, shortstop, here today.
There's the numbers game.
Swing and a miss on the second pitch, and that makes it now 0-2 on the count.
Jamie Scheck has been pretty steady in her pitch selection so far.
That's a swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the game for Scheck. Both of them coming for the second out of each inning. Alexa Fredericks coming to hit, a senior this year's team, hitting 236 on the year.
So she's played on some very good Iowa City High teams as well.
Second straight year that her and this Little Hawks team have been in the state tournament.
She's turned 25 of her hits into 15 runs. So from this part of the order down in the lower third, that's pretty good production.
Couldn't hold back on the first attempt. Checked down to first base and confirmed that she did swing. So that is strike number 1 here for the third batter of the inning. Scheck issued a leadoff walk to Tiana Lindsay, but has set down 5 straight since, 2 via strikeout.
Here comes that sun factor now.
Scheck delivers this pitch to home plate in the dirt, and that'll be ball number 2.
For about 15 minutes, first base, second base, right field. Going to be tough if the ball's in the air to that side of the infield and into the outfield. 200 all the way around, so it takes a pretty good shot. You were looking for a home run. We got more chances coming.
Madison LeClaire, head coach for Kennedy, gets the call in, and that'll pitch will be high from Scheck. 3-1 now the count. Schreck has only allowed 20 walks on the season, including the one today, but she has also hit 4 batters on the year as well. The Kennedy sophomore delivers that one to home plate, and that's a strike on the corner. Full count now, 2 gone here in the top of the second inning. Fredericks trying to stay alive and give Iowa City High some 2-out action. She pops this one up. It might be tough to play here in the sun, but an easy play made out there at second base by Mary Kristofiak. So 1, 2, 3, the Little Hawks go down, and we'll take a short break and be right back.
Still a no-hitter.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey, high school sports fans. Are you following the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union online? Stay up to date with the latest information and scores from across the state as we share highlights and achievements from our student athletes. You can follow all the action on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Just search at IGHSAU.
Carly Smith leading things off in the bottom of the second for the Cougars. They left the bases loaded in the bottom of the first after Lindsay settled down and delivers a beautiful pitch there, taking a little bit off it, and Smith was out in front.
Actually, that might have been a mistaken location because it was right down the pipe. The batter, Smith, just couldn't connect.
Smith, not an everyday starter, takes a cut at the second one and also can't come up with anything. So but 2 strikes now.
Good swing there. She knows how to handle that bat. Behind on the count.
Lindsay, back-to-back strikeouts to end the first. Foul ball keeps Smith alive here in the bottom of the second. Two strikes to the first batter of the second inning. Lindsay goes in her motion, delivers right down the middle at the knees, and that's a 3rd straight strikeout, this one looking. Lindsay came in with 159 of them in 142 innings, so she's keeping right with her season pace.
Smith was looking for a different location, and by the time she recognized where it was too late to pull the trigger.
Yeah, right there at the knees can lock up hitters at times, and I think that started to do a little bit to Smith on that one. Swing at, or kind of a half-hearted swing from Dennis on that one.
We've got a slap hitter here.
Yep, Carly Dennis, the new hitter.
Slap hitting was a rage about 3-4 years ago, and it's kind of coaches have kind of backed off of it.
Dennis hits this one down the left field line. It goes foul. If that had stayed fair, too, she was already halfway down the line before anyone would even got to the ball.
Most of your slap hitters have been from the left-hand side, figuring they're going to get the extra, yard worth of running, 3 feet, 4 feet?
Even if it's a foot, it can be a big difference. That one low and outside after 2 straight strikes. Lindsay looking for her 4th straight strikeout. Dennis, meanwhile, has only gone down 9 times via strikeout this year. Takes the ball low and outside.
It's a little unusual, too, to have a slap hitter in the number 8 slot in the batting order.
Yeah, usually you see him at the top of the order in the number 9 spot to put a leadoff hitter down that low. And a swing and a miss, and that's 4 straight strikeouts for Ayanna Lindsay. Not too bad when the 4 batters before that loaded the bases, and since then all of them have gone down, either swinging or looking.
Got the expressway working here and challenging basically waist on down.
Now come to the plate. Her counterpart for Cedar Rapids is number 10, Jamie Scheck. She fouls off the first pitch. Scheck just a .216 hitter on the season.
Kinney does a pretty good job of presenting the target as well back there. And makes it easy for the umpire to make the calls. She stays down there pretty well.
Lindsay's done a great job, too, of just working ahead of hitters, getting up 0-2 on all 3 hitters she's faced this inning.
Minimizing the number of pitches. She's showing it right here.
Swing and a miss. Lindsay strikes out the side. 5 straight outs via strikeout for Ayanna Lindsay. That'll do it here in the bottom of the 2nd. Pitchers duel going on so far. Both pitchers serving it up very well for their respective teams. 7 combined strikeouts between the 2 of them. We'll take a quick break and be back with the top of the 3rd inning.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
Top of the 3rd inning as Iowa City High comes back up. It'll be number 21 for the Little Hawks coming up. That'll be Michaela Ribble, who's a freshman this year, hitting .265.
8-9-1, so City High is about 1 hitter ahead going through the lineup over Kennedy.
First pitch is swung on and fouled straight back by Ribble. Both pitchers kind of struggled early on as we saw a leadoff walk by Scheck to Ayanna Lindsay, who we'll see at the end of this inning potentially. But since then has set down every hitter she's faced. And then Lindsay on the other side got the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st inning and then has struck out 5 batters since.
Definitely right now pitchers in control. Both of them showing fairly good command, able to change the location and change the speeds.
And
so far.
Close games like this is what you want to see from 2 of the best teams in the state. Especially when they've played twice this year, and both of them were 2-1 wins for Kennedy. 2-1 the count, speaking of 2-1.
The batter is number 21. The catcher's number 21.
It's just all over the place.
You better hope we don't end up going 21 innings here.
Let's hope not. Swing and a miss evens up the count at 2 apiece.
I don't think we have enough players or pitchers to go that far.
Strikeouts have been a little bit of a problem for Ribble this year. She leads the team with 23 punch-outs in the batter's box this season. Make it 24 as Scheck sets her down.
Good location on the outside part of the plate, waist high. That's the third strikeout for Scheck.
Brianna Bentler comes to the plate. 254 average for her on the season. It's just her 60th at bat of the year, however. That one's high for ball number 1.
Sometimes you get an injury mid-season, late season, and one of the younger players steps in, and all of a sudden, boom, they're doing better than the player they replaced, so they stay in the lineup. That can account for the numbers difference there.
Bentler takes that one right at the knees for strike number 1. Both these pitchers really work in that same corner on the right side.
No breeze, so anything in the air might have some carry.
Swing and a miss. Got jammed on that one. Couldn't make contact. 1-2 now the count.
A little bit of a breeze from that swing on the miss.
Down and outside to high and inside, working both sides and changing locations very effectively. Goes right back down low again. This one's a...
Mechanics got with the ball and got her feet set and made the good strong.
Ayanna Lindsay back to the plate. Had a walk and a stolen out rally going here for Iowa City High. She's been pitching very well on the mound, now trying to get something going at the plate. Huge home run threat. More home runs than any player on either team with 18 round trippers on the year. Also second on the team, or technically third behind Carrie Koenig, and then tie between Ella Cook and Kelly Porter, who have 38 RBIs on the year. She rips this one foul for strike number 1.
Much as she did in her first at-bat.
A lot of power and a nice quick swing. Quick hands allowing her to put a lot of oomph behind that swing.
Did you notice the acceleration off the bat? That indicates that she's got a good solid swing and good wrist action.
Definitely say her 480 average probably shows that same thing as well.
Correct.
Fouls this one on the right side as that one was down and low.
That one don't count. It went right instead of going left.
I think that was one of the more location than the timing of the swing than anything.
There you go. And here again, Scheck, by working the outside third of the plate, kind of takes away that inside power that Lindsay might obviously show.
Mm-hmm. Scheck goes in her motion, looking to end the inning. That one's high and can't get Ayanna Lindsay to offer on it on the rise ball.
Ella Cook intently watching where Scheck's been throwing to Lindsay.
Scheck delivers the home plate, took a little bit off it. Out in front was Lindsay. Throw over to first, in time. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning. That's 9 straight set down by Scheck. And that'll do it for the top of the third. We'll take a short break and be back with the bottom half of the inning after this.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Cedar Rapids Kennedy coming back to the plate. Top of the order with Parker, Alber, and Kinney coming to the dish. Lindsay looking to keep her impressive streak going. She struck out 5 straight batters through the first and second inning. But let's see what the top of the order can do. Parker drew a walk and advanced all the way to third before being stranded there in her last trip up. Takes that one a little bit outside for ball number 1. Lindsay comes back to the mound. Parker, the left or right-handed hitter, takes ball number 2. This one outside, but a lot of speed behind that fastball.
Struggling with her location here. Leading off the third.
Same thing we saw from Lindsay last time she faced Parker. Puts that one and jams up. Parker on the swing. Fouls it off for a strike at the at-bat. Now 2-1 is the count. Addie Albert waiting on deck.
It's interesting to watch the catcher-pitcher combination. Kinney putting down the signs for Lindsay. Giving her time to get set.
So the strikeout streak is broken, but another out recorded by the Little Hawk defense as that one's grounded over to first base.
Who was mentioning you'd like to see how many she could string together on the strikeouts?
I did.
Sportscaster's jinx.
Absolutely. The old broadcaster's curse.
You got it.
Albert coming to the plate now. If she's able to get on, it'll give a great RBI opportunity for Kailyn Kinney, who is waiting on deck currently.
That would set up the strategy of pitching to Kinney next if we had a base runner at first on front of her.
Swing and a miss from Albert, and that'll now put her behind 0-2. Lindsay looking for another strikeout. That one's fouled straight back on a high pitch. Kinney goes over to fetch it, and Albert able to stay alive for at least one more pitch. The Cougars had an opportunity in the bottom of the first, but have had nothing since, as Lindsay has set down now 6 straight at this point, after allowing the bases to get loaded with one out in the bottom of the first.
That time she had Albert way out in front, gave her the changeup, kept the changeup low. Be difficult to hit that pitch.
Lindsay looking for another punch out. That one a little bit outside. First ball of the at bat, 1-2 now the count.
We're on the Iowa Central Field, final game of the day in the final 5A quarterfinals.
This one fouled out of play, another jam session.
Waukee beat Ottumwa 8-0. Waukee got like 6 runs in one inning, so the game may be a little closer than some would think, and you look and see it in black and white on the score sheet.
That ball's too high, and that'll run it now 2-2 in the count.
Middle of the order, is Kinney going to get pitched to? It depends a lot here when you say on what Albert does.
Winner of this game will advance to take on the winner of Fort Dodge and Valley in the other quarterfinal matchup taking place over on Kruger Seeds Field. Fort Dodge 34-6, the number 2 seed, and West Des Moines Valley, the number 7 seed, 29-10 on the year. Swing and a miss, another strikeout, as Albert goes down swinging 6th of the game for Ayanna Lindsay. And that'll bring up Kinney. 2 gone in the inning. We'll see if they actually pitch to her this time up.
After giving up the game's only hit to the 4th hitter, it's been strikeout, except for the ground out by Parker.
6 out of 7. Matchup of the 2 best players in this game, Lindsay and Kinney. Swing and a miss as Kinney wanted that one. A little frustrated with herself after that swing.
Sometimes an intentional walk will do that to you. Kind of messes with your thinking as you try to absorb the strategy.
This one grounded right back to Lindsay, able to get to it and throw Kinney out at first. That gives Kinney an even .500 batting average of the season. And that'll also end the inning. Nice 1-2-3 set down by Lindsay. So the 1-3 ground out will end the inning, and we'll take a short break. Be right back with the top of the 4th after this.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
And welcome back to Iowa Central Field. Reminder, Central College is recruiting leaders. Come learn and play at the place that regularly wins national team championships, national individual titles, and conference all-sports titles. Visit central.edu to learn how you can be more than a spectator. We're here in the top of the fourth inning. Still 0-0 our score as this one is fouled out of play by Spohr, the leadoff hitter here in the fourth. It's been a pitcher's duel. Only one hit allowed between these two sophomore pitchers. Going back and forth as Lindsay set down the Cougars 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. And we've seen back-to-back 1-2-3 innings from Scheck on the other side, looking to add to it. Gets up quickly 0-2 after two straight foul balls.
The strikeout battle would go to the pitcher from Iowa City right now, 7-3.
But to be fair, Scheck is the one with the no-hitter so far.
Correct.
Thought for sure that was going to be a hit just for the broadcaster's jinx, just because I said it.
It did hit the ground.
Yeah.
And hit off the chest protector of the umpire. That can hurt if it gets you at the right angle, correct angle. You get a little space where those pads come up here and off the end of the shoulder blade. Most protectors that way.
Scheck delivers the home plate. That one also in the dirt. Back-to-back pitches. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cook grounded out, popped out to the catcher her last time up. This one ripped past third base, and there goes the no-hitter.
You did it again. You're getting what you're wishing for.
So Cook on with the first hit of the game for the Little Hawks here in the fourth inning, and that'll bring up Carrie Koenig, one of the top hitters for this Iowa City High team.
Number 3 in the order. She was called out on strikes her first time up.
Number 3 in the order, second on the team with a .460 batting average, 12 home runs as well. Another sophomore that has played some big innings for this team this year. She takes a called strike right at the knees. That same outside corner, we've seen both pitchers work a lot. We're just under halfway through this game. And we're still tied 0-0, 1 hit apiece for both these teams. 0-2 count as Scheck able to get her to foul that one off.
1 hit shutouts. If you like to watch pitching, this is the game you should be watching here. Games get underway again tomorrow morning at 11 all through the day, both in the consolations and the other games.
Yeah. Loser of this game will play at 3 o'clock tomorrow over on the Dodger Diamond. Well, the winner will play at 7:30 tomorrow night, right here on Iowa Central Field against the winner of Fort Dodge and West Des Moines Valley. There was a ball on the third pitch, taking the count 1-2. This one hit over to third, and it's going to drop in, and no one able to get to it in time. So now back-to-back base hits as Koenig gets on. That'll bring up Fellows with an RBI opportunity. Runner in scoring position, no one out.
Fellows put her bat on the ball and put it in play our first time up. You've got an infield fly situation, nobody out. You got to force at any base. Iowa City catcher Spohr out reminding her teammates of that.
Scheck checking her armband for the pitch call.
Both corner infielders staying in normal depth. Now charging.
Beautiful bunt drop. The out at first. The sack bunt works beautifully. And both runners advance into scoring position.
Alert play by Deputy from third. She held her position. Then all of a sudden came charging in as the delivery was on its way from Scheck.
And showed some good speed there, able to get to that ball quickly.
Excellent. We didn't have a return throw, so there was no overthrow anywhere. That's what a coach fears the most, probably, in that type of situation.
Kelly Potter at the dish now, tied for second on the team in RBIs. Great RBI opportunity right here. That pitch too low, and that's going to be ball number 1. 5 home runs on the year for Potter as well. Scheck gets the call, gets the pitch in, and it's going to be hit foul. Good snag by the third base coach down there. Got to believe that's head coach Jeff Koenig.
Sign him up. Good hands.
I think if you ask him, he'll probably just stick to coaching.
He's not old enough to join the Old Timers League yet, is what you're saying.
Potentially, you never know.
Scoreless here, top of the 4th.
2 runners in scoring position. Big swing and a miss by Potter as it looked like Scheck took a little bit off that pitch and had Porter out in front.
Retired 2 in a row after 2 base hits to open the inning. This could be a key swing batter.
1 gone in the inning, 1-2 the count. That one's fouled straight back. Good swing to stay alive.
I had her striking out. That's why I said that. My bad.
Still 1-2 count, 1 out in the inning. You've got Cook at third, Koenig at second. Koenig only 2 stolen bases on the year, and as a catcher, probably doesn't have the best wheels out there, so may not be able to score on anything hits the outfield. But you know Potter would love to give her an opportunity to.
They get one in the gap, left center or right center, and it's everybody off to the races.
Swing and a miss, big strikeout for number 10, Jamie Scheck. Second out of the inning, and now you were the recipient of the broadcaster's curse.
Well, I had it marked that way to begin with.
Well, there you go.
Didn't have to remark it. One thing I've noticed, though, is that Albert, the right fielder, has deepened up a little bit there, anticipating that the Iowa City hitters are going to bring the ball her way, being a little bit late on the swings.
Either that or it's just the fact that Scheck's been working that outside corner so much. Speaking of which, she tries to go back there again, but this one a little bit too far outside. Scheck looking to work out of a jam just like Lindsay did in the first inning. 2 runners on, 2 gone. This one ripped deep into left field, right field. That's going to be off the fence. That'll score both runners. And an RBI double for number 28, Brianna Bentley, number 6, Brooke Borman.
I think the ball is stuck in the fence, which would mean an automatic ground rule double, although the Iowa City coach did send the runner on around.
And we'll call it a ground rule double. So a big RBI double, and fans, all extra base hits during the Girls State Softball Tournament, brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service.
The base umpire had to hustle out there to see where the ball was and whether it was stuck. Iowa City coach still pleading his case to no avail. Not going to change it. 2-0.
I think at this point he'd be pretty happy with just a 2-0 lead anyway.
No, he'd wants 3. Wants that odd number advantage. You can't blame him.
Fredericks now coming to the plate. Still a runner in scoring position after the double by Borman. Fredericks flew out to second base her last time up. That's a nice pitch on the outside corner. The biggest key is Scheck cannot allow this to get out of hand. Her teams, with the offensive power they have, they are very much in this game.
keep it right here if she can. I think you're going to see her work more of the outside third of the plate here.
This one hit into left field. It's going to drop, and a nice throw home. The runner will advance to second, though, but it does keep that runner from advancing. So credit that as a single and advance on the throw.
Correct.
So still 2 runners on.
How big was the sacrifice bunt earlier on? Advancing the runners.
Yep.
We're going to have a runner coming in here.
And a reminder that all substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Coming in is Georgia Kim as a pinch runner.
7 stolen bases for her on the season. And it looks like they're going to change pitchers. So also, again, another substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. And it's going to be
Kailyn Kinney, the first baseman.
The person I thought we were going to see to begin this game.
So I wonder how many pitches she needs to warm up here.
Kinney, one of the best players in the state. In fact, the 2019 Iowa Softball Gatorade Player of the Year. She'll be headed to Nebraska when her college career is done. Or excuse me, high school career, beginning her college career. 20-0 on the season in 24 appearances, a sparkling .39 ERA on the year, and almost a 20-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
That's almost not even worth running through the computer stat program.
Exactly.
Wasted that much electricity.
Yeah.
That's an excellent effort on her part. Yep. Well, what is her main pitch? Rise ball, change, fastball?
I think we'll find out here in the first couple at bats because they are in a tough situation. They need to get out of it now.
Iowa City with runners at second and third, just plating 2. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament from this Iowa Central field, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and brought to you on the network. Iowa Girls Digital Network, streaming all the games yet today and then all those tomorrow, except for those that are being played on the other fields, Dodger and Veterans fields. The losers of today's first-round games meet up tomorrow so that every team will go home having played 2 games.
That's one of the things that I love about the state softball tournament is you don't make your way all the way over here just for one game. That's a swing and a miss. Big pitch from Kinney, her first time facing someone.
Looking back to 1974 is when they played off all 16 places, and that continued until the classifications we have today. So you had 4 games, basically, out of the 16-team field. And it was everybody playing for one title.
0-2 now the count as Kinney looking for her first strikeout.
First 2 batters that got on have scored. There's 2 more on.
Looked like a little nice curveball on that one. And a nice foul job by Ribble to stay alive.
7th batter to come up in the inning here for City High.
And it was a fortunate run for Scheck. She'd been pitching so well. Had set down 9 straight, and then the back-to-back hits turn into 2 runs that have been credited to her. This one bounced over to shortstop, and the throw, no throw is going to be made. So that's going to be another run credited to Scheck as you see Borman come in to score.
And to third base goes Kim.
Yep. Bentler will come up now. This inning's still not over.
Right now, Scheck is on the line for 4 runs that have plated, and the runner at third belongs to her. And again, what? Only 1 ball out of the infield?
Somewhere around there. They've been all pretty close. And then we have the one that missed being a home run by a couple feet.
The double.
Yep. Nice pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1.
Number 9 in the order. Been a productive inning for City High.
Nice changeup inside. Makes it now 2 strikes. The biggest thing is both those runs came in, too, after 2 outs were recorded.
Correct.
After the sac bunt and a strikeout.
Kennedy needs to hold it right here. It's easier to make up 3 than it is to go 4 or more. Oh.
Bounces off the second baseman's glove. Throw not in time. Another run comes in. That'll be 4 runs now credited to Scheck. And that will be ruled an error by the second baseman. So credit that to Mary Kristofiak. Ribble at second, Bentler at first. And the really tough part, now you've got the top of the order and the top power hitter on this squad, and Ayanna Lindsay. Pinch runner coming in. It is number 1, and that is Peyton Nave. And remember, all substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
Looking for some more speed. Looking now to get that 5-run advantage. So even a grand slam won't beat you.
That one's fouled off by Lindsay. Lindsay 0 for 1 on the day. Had a walk and a steal her first time up and grounded out to third base last time.
As we said at the outset of the broadcast, the team's got to play good defense, keep the other team from getting extra chances. So far, Iowa City's got those extra chances.
That pitch too high, up near the head of Lindsay, and that's ball number 1. And it wasn't even necessarily a bad defense for Cedar Rapids throughout much of this. It was just well-placed hits. That last error, though, could be a killer, especially if this ends up being a 1-run game. Big swing from Lindsay, comes up empty, and she's down in the count 1-2. Kinney trying to get Cedar Rapids Kennedy out of this inning. Lindsay trying to help out her own cause with 2 runners on and 2 gone.
Hit her on the shoulder.
So that'll load the bases for Cook, who got this inning started with a hit and a run scored earlier.
When it goes south, it goes in a hurry. And right now, it's gone south for Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
They're going to need a big bottom of the 4th to try and get some of this momentum back.
Get a couple in the bottom if you can. Get a couple more the next at bat. Chip away.
Yep. That ball is low and outside. When we eventually do get to the bottom of the 4th, it'll be Spohr, Kristofiak, and Wright to lead off things. Cook with the bases loaded, up 1-0 in the count, 2 gone. Hits this one over to shortstop. Diving attempt at short. No good. And that'll plate 2 more runs and also send Lindsay over to third. Those ones will be credited to Kinney. 6 runs here in the top of the 4th inning, as Bentler and Ribble come home to score. And now that error is now responsible for 2 runs. And that's the thing, is these runs are all unearned now. Inning not over yet. Runners on the corners with Koenig now at the plate.
And a close game is turning into a little bit of a margin here.
Should have been a 3-0 game in the bottom.
Shoulda.
Yep. This one
That's
hit into center field. That'll score another one. Lindsay comes home to score. And the wheels are just coming off for Cedar Rapids Kennedy here in the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring Fellows to the plate. Sack bunt that kind of helped get all this started. So Koenig and Cook, 2 hits each in this inning. Also 2 runs and 2 RBIs for the 2 of them as well. First pitch is a strike from Kinney.
And again, the damaging hits have not been the big blows out to the outfield fence. It's been basically just over the infield.
We've seen 1 extra base hit this entire inning. And again, the last 4 runs that have scored, all unearned because of that error by Kristofiak at second base.
Kennedy hanging their hands on their hips They're a little frustrated by the way the ball has gotten away from them.
This one bounced back to Kinney. She'll throw it over to first, and that will finally end the inning, but not before the Little Hawks put up 7 runs in the top of the 4th inning. We'll take a short break and be back with the bottom of the 4th to see how Kennedy can respond.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Spohr will lead things off for Cedar Rapids Kennedy here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and they need something big and quick. Not necessarily has to score 8 runs this inning to try and get the lead, but you got to score at least a couple to have a fighting chance here later in the game.
You got 4 at-bats left. You're the home team. So you got the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. If you get a couple runs each inning, you're back in it and you win it. Sometimes the players get in that mental frame of mind. I got to do it now, and I got to hit the big blow and get this thing started. Well, just chip away. What did Iowa City do in the top of the inning? Chip away.
Ayana Lindsay back on the mound. She's set down 8 straight, 6 of them via strikeout. Looking to keep that streak going. Got to wonder if maybe her arm might have gotten a little cold, but doesn't look like it after that first pitch. As Spohr came up empty on that first swing.
She had 11 pitches to get out of the last inning.
Second pitch, high and outside for ball number 1.
11 pitches in the second inning, not counting foul balls. So pretty efficient with her delivery. Her location has been keeping Kennedy off balance.
This one ripped foul on the right side. Spohr a little bit behind on that one. And now Kinney can look for a potential 7th strikeout of the game.
4, 5, and 6, middle of the order here for Kennedy if they want to get a comeback started. Good place to start is right here.
And Spohr rips this one in left field, but right there to make the catch is the left fielder, number 4, Sydney Fellows. So a good swing on the ball, but just wrong placement.
Put it in play. Take your chances. One batter at a time. Kristoviak, as we await the umpire behind the plate to get a couple more softballs.
Kristofiak had the error that allowed the inning to continue, trying to make up for it here. Takes ball 1 inside on the first pitch from Lindsay. I think one of my favorite things I saw during that last half inning was just the excitement from head coach Jeff Koenig with every run that came in. This one's hit back up the middle. It'll skid out into the outfield. So a nice hit by Kristofiak. She shifted over to first base after we saw the change at pitcher. And she'll be on first base, just the second hit of the game in the first since the first inning.
That ball just took a little extra spin away from the second baseman Potter. She had it lined up. Just spun away from her.
Izzy Wright takes a ball on the first pitch. And they were checking to see if Kristofiak was going to take off running, and she stays put. Only 2 stolen bases for her on the season. Big swing and a miss from Wright on the second pitch, but she comes up empty. So Kristofiak over at first, 1 gone in the bottom of the 4th. 7-0 our score after a big top of the 4th. Plating 7 runs for Iowa City High.
7 runs on 7 hits. Kennedy has no runs and just 2 hits. That hit there broke the string.
Lindsay sets and delivers. Another swing and a miss for Wright. Lindsay just a 1.23 ERA on the season, and she's been pitching to her report so far. That one's hit straight off of the glove of the third baseman, number 21, Michaela Ribble, and it goes foul, but because she was in play when she touched it, it's going to go as a single. So back-to-back hits as Coach Koenig comes out to check on Ribble to make sure she's all right after being hit by the line drive. And we're going to have a pinch runner as number 43, Deputy, comes in to pinch run. Substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Actually, she's replacing Wright, who is the DP, the designated player, and she can come in and run for her, and it's not counted as entering or leaving the lineup.
So we got Kristofiak over at second, and now Deputy at first. Kennedy trying to get something big to at least chip away at this 7-0 lead for Iowa City High. Lindsay sets and delivers. This one's fouled off by Smith. 1-1, now the count. One gone in the inning. Two runners at second and first. In the top of the fifth inning, it'll be Potter, Borman, and Fredericks coming up for the Little Hawks. That pitch is too high. Now 2-1 the count. And the biggest thing, you hear the Cedar Rapids Kennedy bench, even though they're down 7-0, it has not changed their belief of their ability to win this game.
It's kind of fun to hear some of the teams and their chants during the regular season. We haven't heard too many of them up here so far.
Swing and a miss for Smith on that pitch. Now a 2-2 count, one gone in the inning.
If she's ever needed a strikeout, it's right here.
That pitch too high, up near the head of Smith. So
Rise
full
ball.
count, count, one gone.
But at least she's changing the eyes and the location of the pitches. Change the eyes on the batter.
Lindsay looking for the strikeout. This one's popped up right back to the pitcher. She puts the squeeze on it for the second out of the inning.
So that rise ball was effective there.
That's going to bring Lizzie Dennis to the plate. And actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter substitution coming in, brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how to be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. It is Keaton Gerber, number 36, a freshman, coming in to hit. And a big offensive opportunity right here in place of the center fielder, Dennis. Just 1 for 12 on the season, but needs a big hit right here.
Plus, she's a left-handed batter.
Strike on the outside corner on the first pitch.
Well-placed stroke here could change the scoreboard.
Big swing, but comes up empty, does Gerber. It's amazing to think how this game could have been different in the bottom of the first if they had been able to plate a couple runs when they had the bases loaded, as that's ball number one. And Parker was held at third on the single by Spohr, and if they'd center, you never know what could have happened.
Sometimes those things come back to bite you.
Swing and a miss. Gerber goes down swinging. 7th K of the game for Lindsay. And the Cougars have now stranded 5 runners on the evening. We'll take a short break and be right back here from Iowa Central Field.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
You must be boring.
this is a magical place.
Iowa City High back at the plate. It'll be number 20, Potter, leading off for them. 0 for 2 on the day. One of her and Fellows, the only two that have not been on base so far. In fact, the only two that have not scored a run so far in this game.
Waiting on the pitcher to return to the mound.
Went back to grab that wristband, it looked like. Kinney on the mound now. Gave up technically 3 runs attributed to her in that last inning, all 3 of them unearned. So her sparkling ERA on the season not in effect. Gets a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Kinney really could use a 1-2-3 inning right here to get back some momentum, and good start to it so far. Up 0-2.
This will be the 7th batter she's faced since she came on in relief of Jamie Scheck in the 4th inning rather.
Big swing and a miss.
12 players came to bat in that big explosive inning.
Potter goes down swinging for the 2nd time today. And Borman, who had the big hit that plated the first 2 runs, now at the plate. This one hit over to third. Good play by Deputy and a strong throw over to Krzysztofiak at first. So quick 2 outs. Only needing about 4 or 5 pitches. And now Kinney trying to settle into a groove and get the 1-2-3 inning with Fredericks at the plate now. 3 more at-bat attempts for Kennedy as they try to come back in this one. Took something off that pitch and gets a swing and a miss from Fredericks. Fredericks had a hit and scored a run her last time up. That rise ball rose too much as it goes flying past the catcher.
She got it above the 2nd rail. That counts. It's close.
Maybe in slow pitch.
There you go. Would have been a hard one to hit.
1-1 the count. Swing and a miss on that one at the knees. And Kenny seems to have settled into a little bit of a groove.
Again, changing up, down, changing inside, outside, changing location a little bit, moving the eyes.
This one just kind of a check swing, it looked like, by Fredericks, able to stay alive as she hits that one out of play.
Was on the outside corner.
So Kenny looking to try and get the 1-2-3 inning, up 1-2 in the count. This one hit over to third. Nice play by Deputy and another strong throw. Krzysztofiak puts the squeeze on it, and back-to-back 5-3 groundouts to end the inning. So halfway through the 5th inning, it's still 7-0 in favor of Iowa City High. We'll take a short break and be right back here from Iowa Central Field.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
They say University.
Lance Reno and Tyler French coming to you from Iowa Central Field. You're watching the 2019 Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. It was a strike on the first pitch on a foul ball. As we had a substitution, it looks like.
Sam Scheck.
So the other Scheck coming in to hit now. And remember, all substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. As Scheck pops that one out. And it was one Scheck hitting in place of the other.
You can see how much more relaxed Lindsay is out on the pitching circle. She knows now she's got a little margin for error. You indicated before we started you felt this was going to be a close one-run ball game maybe.
It would have been if not for that error. It probably would. You would see it probably a lot more confidence on the side of Cedar Rapids Kennedy right now as that one's hit into right field. That'll hit Finn Fair, and they're going to send Parker over to second. No throw, and she'll get in without a slide. All extra base hits during the Girls State Softball Tournament brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. That'll bring up Addie Alber now. Second trip on the bases for Parker after she got walked and got stranded at third her first time up. Alber, big cut and a miss.
It's only the fourth hit of the ball game, and we're in the fifth inning here as the hits have been few and far between for the Cougars of Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
And if Alber can get on, it would provide a good RBI opportunity. She's going to hit this one over to second. Nice field over there by, it looked like, number 20.
Potter, right?
Yep, so Potter comes up with the out. It does advance the runner to third, but 2 outs now in the inning. Going to bring Kailyn Kinney to the plate. There are 2 bases open, but it looks like they are going to pitch to her. Kinney 0 for 1 in this game. That was a rocket off the bat on the right side.
Kaboom! There was no hesitation. That was a powerful swing on her part.
Not too bad to have that speed off the bat on a pitch she got jammed on.
I think there's a dent in that dugout fence up near the top rail. We'll see now. Will Lindsay shake something off? She did. Just a hair.
Kinney swings through it. Kinney 0 for 1 on the day, has also had an intentional walk. Trying to keep this inning alive and get her team on the board. She can do that with a base hit. That ball's inside. Good eye by Kinney.
Kailyn Kinney intentionally walked the first time up to the plate.
Lindsay sets and delivers. Kinney able to stay alive as she fouls that one out of play.
You can see why teams don't really want to pitch to her. Her bat is so quick. She's in the hitting zone very quickly.
Similar things that we were talking about with Ayanna Lindsay when she's been at the plate throughout this game. And that one's ripped into center field, but right at the center fielder, and a great catch out there in center.
Almost a snow cone.
And that was Bentler out there putting the squeeze on it. So a line out into center field ends the inning. Unfortunate play there for Kinney. And we've got 2 innings of softball here left in this 5A quarterfinal. Back after this.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
2 innings of softball left in this 5A quarterfinal. The Little Hawks of Iowa City High leading this one 7-0 over the Cedar Rapids Kennedy Cougars. Kinney back on the mound for another inning of work. She's set down the Little Hawks 1-2-3 last time up.
4 in a row she's retired.
And they're going to need more of that if they're hoping for a late inning rally. 6 more outs, and they need 7 runs. But stranger things have happened at the state softball level. First pitch, and it was not a full swing from the hitter Ribble. So 1-0 the count now. First batter of the top of the 6th inning. That's a big swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 strikeout so far in the game for Kinney.
Left fielder Smith playing pretty much normal. Dennis, the center fielder, is deepened out towards the center field fence.
Even with the tough hop, Kinney able to field it, fire over to Kristofiak at first.
If you're playing first base and Kinney's going to throw you the ball, you better be prepared because it's going to be on you just like that.
So the 1-3 ground out leads to the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up number 21, Brianna Bentler. This one lifted deep into right center. It'll be off the wall. This one does not get stuck, and the slide into second. And that's the second double of the game for this Iowa City High Little Hawk team. Both of them coming from one of the B girls, Brooke Borman and Brianna Bentler. And that extra base hit is brought to you by Kruger Seeds. Next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. So Iowa City High might be in a little bit of business again here in the top of the 6th. 1-out double. This one hit over the shortstop, and that gets past Parker at short. Throw over to third, and in time.
Got an illegal pitch called by the third base umpire. That's why the left arm was out. So the offensive coach gets the choice. Either take the result if the pitch is hit, the illegal pitch is hit, or the runner advances, and like in that instance, she would have advanced on a dead ball type situation.
Either way, we've got runners on the corners with 1 out.
And the pitch should be called a ball on the hitter.
And that was Lindsay picking up her first hit of the game. And I'll bring Cook up 2 for 3 on the day. Takes the first cut at this one. Lindsay was on her horse over to second, but will have to go back to first now. Cook and Koenig due up now for Iowa City High.
Still think the scoreboard's wrong. I think it should be 1-1. But the plate umpire hasn't indicated any difference than what the scoreboard has.
And they're going to give Lindsay the base, defensive indifference. Second time she's been able to steal an extra base in this game. So runners in scoring position, just 1 out. Big swing and a miss from Cook. And with the 1-2 count, Kinney can try and put this second batter away of the inning. This one grounded over to third. Good look back by Deputy, and throw over to first in time for the out.
Well played by Deputy at third, because too many times third baseman like that will get in a hurry to make the throw. Did you notice the shortstop Parker covering in behind her at third base?
Mm-hmm. And they have officially credited that hit by Lindsay as an error. So she's still technically without a hit on the day, but she's been on base 3 times. She's been walked, hit by a pitch, and reached on an error. Koenig way out in front of that one.
Good location, nice change.
I think she probably could have swung through that one twice by the time it got there.
3 times?
That may be pushing. She may have made solid contact on the third swing.
On the backswing.
That pitch outside, 1-2 the count, 2 gone in the inning, 2 runners in scoring position.
For not having many warm-up tosses, Kinney has now settled into her normal game rhythm. She came in off first base. Changeup.
This one just dumped into left field. They're going to send Lindsay, and they're going to plate 2 more runs. These ones actually will be earned runs against Kinney's ERA. That makes it now 9-0. As Koenig picks up her 3rd hit of the game and now has 3 RBIs to her credit as well.
You'd almost nominate her for player of the game honors for Iowa City.
Well, 3 hits, a run, and 2 RBIs, or 3 RBIs now. Can't complain too much about that. Especially, I believe it's her dad over at third base, incredibly excited.
They don't talk softball at home, I would guess. Not much.
Well, there's also a Peyton Koenig who's an assistant coach.
There you go.
So, this might be home.
2 outs in the go-ahead, the 10th run potentially is at first base, but decent speed down there.
Chopper over to second base, and it eats up Scheck, and it's not in time. So waiting to see. They will credit that as another error. 3rd error of the game, 2nd of the inning. And they're checking to see if it could have been runner interference.
That's a tough error on that one. And I, too, thought that there might have been interference. The base umpire looking right at it didn't make any signal on it. Of course, from here, it's hard to tell the space that could have been from me to you apart.
Yep.
10th run is now at second with 2 outs for City High.
If they can plate that 10th run and get out of the 6th without allowing a run, they will walk out of this game with a run rule. That one's fouled back by number 20, Potter, excuse me.
She's had trouble putting the bat on the ball, but we'll see what she can do on this occasion. 9 runs, 9 hits for City High. No runs, 4 hits. 3 errors for Kennedy's Cougars.
Potter, the only starter for Iowa City High yet to be on base after Fellows reached on the error.
Maybe that'll change here. Sportscaster jinx again.
Well, we did talk about it last time. She was up, too.
Well, sometimes it takes a while for that jinx to take hold.
And she goes down swinging for the 3rd time.
Good cut. 2 runs in the inning, however.
And it looks like Iowa City High may be on their way to the state semis here in the 5A quarterfinal action. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th right after this.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Spohr takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it back. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 9-0 game in favor of Iowa City High as they came out ready to play with a big inning earlier in this game. Plated 7 runs, and then plated 2 more in the top of the 6th.
I think we're the last game in town right now.
That pitch high into Spohr, so it's a 1-1 count now. And it's basically now or never for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. They've got to have a big inning here to give themselves an opportunity in the bottom of the 7th. Or they could score 19 runs here in this inning and run rule and end it.
You don't have enough score sheet left for that to happen.
No, I do not. 1-2 the count. Spohr at the plate. Still got Lindsay on the mound right now.
Here again, it all depends upon what your leadoff batter in the inning can do. Can they get on base? Put a little pressure on. And City High has done a good job of keeping Cougar runners off base and not allowing them to put on the pressure. That's the major difference.
This one's fouled down the right field line. Still 2 strikes.
4, 5, and 6 in the order, and as you alluded to just a moment ago, this is, if you're going to do something, this is the group that should do it.
Spohr with an even count, 2-2. No one gone in the inning. Cougars have been plagued by 3 errors in this contest. One of which extended the inning. What should have been a 3-0 lead turned into a 7-0 lead.
Quickly. And give Iowa City credit. They smelled blood in the water like a shark would, and they added to their lead.
That pitch well high, and it's now 3-2.
Full count. That would be the second that I see on my sheet that she has worked on here in the game.
Spohr's had a solid game, 1 for 2 so far. As she had that big hit that loaded the bases in the first. And still wonder if they'd sent Parker, if she'd been safe at home, it could have been a very different ball game. But here we are. 3-2 the count still, as Spohr continuing to fight off pitches from Lindsay. Lindsay looking for the payoff pitch. That one's inside, so Spohr works the walk and is on base for the second time today.
Waukee was a winner here in the 5A quarterfinals. We're going to have, again, the courtesy runner, Olivia Scott, coming in for Spohr. And I don't know who just won the Valley game. Maybe we can find out here in a minute.
My first thought would be would be the team they faced today, who's Fort Dodge, playing in their hometown. They're the 2 seed coming into this tournament. They've got their eyes on a potential championship. That pitch is fouled off by Krzysztofiak. And with the pinch runner over at first, remember substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Krzysztofiak at the plate, fouls another one off. She looked to be right on it, just a little bit underneath it.
Same location with a pitch, same result, a foul ball.
0-2 the count now, runner over at first. Spohr was able to work the count in her favor and draw the walk. See if Krzysztofiak can do the same. That one's low. Throw over to Spohr. Just back in time. Now 1-2 the count. Krzysztofiak a hit and advanced to second her last time up. Fouls this one out of play.
Koenig very agile behind the plate. Sets a good target. Has good quick reactions to no matter where the pitch location is. That is so valuable for a catcher.
That pitch is high, so 2-2 now the count. We've seen it at times in this game where Lindsay has been able to get ahead of a hitter and has struggled to put them away. But she's also got 7 strikeouts in this contest as well. Now a full count as Krzysztofiak works the count full. Right on deck. Had a hit her last time up. And catches her looking right at the knees. Beautiful pitch. For the 8th strikeout of the game for Ayanna Lindsay.
Location, speed. We are seeing Lindsay work that perfectly here according to the game plan for Iowa City High. Cougar hitters are guessing a little bit.
And we'll have designated player Lindsay Wright come back to the plate. She had a courtesy runner come in her last time up, and she got a hit and got on base.
So this is her re-entry. If she goes out now, she's out the rest of the game.
Swing and a miss on the pitch, and the throw goes into center field, so give that stolen base to number 4, looking at the wrong roster, number 4, Olivia Scott.
Good fundamentals. She turned her head and saw where the ball was to whether or not she could advance to third on that play. Good judgment on her part.
Wright pops this one
Playable.
up. And a good squeeze there by Ribble, able to get the out. So now 2 outs in the inning, and it'll bring up Smith. The Cougars trying to get that goose egg off the board. Down 9-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. That ball's inside. They've got Scott out there on second base, who came in as a pinch runner for Spohr. Abby Spohr drew a walk to open the inning. This one's fouled out of play. Now 1-1 the count. And Koenig, not the biggest player behind the plate there, but able to block the ball very effectively when the ball's been in the dirt.
It almost looks like she's taken dancing lessons somewhere in her past. The agility she has on her feet and the quickness, that really helps the pitcher as well. You don't have that many pass balls, etc.
That ball a little low, so it's now 2-1 on the count. Trying to keep their chances at a state championship alive is Cedar Rapids Kennedy. That one hit right back to Lindsay, and she's able to throw it over to first. It looked like it was going to get past her at first, but she made a nice athletic move and the circle to grab that ball. So at the end of 6, it's still 9-0 in favor of the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Iowa City High Little Hawks. We'll be right back from Iowa Central Field.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
And welcome back to Iowa Central Field here in the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament. We're in the top of the 7th inning of a 9-0 contest in favor of the Iowa City High Little Hawks, who are back up to hit. It is number 6, Borman, leading off the shortstop. That pitch too high, so it's now 1-1 on the count. And it looks like Iowa City High well on their way to advancing to the state semis, where they will play the team that we just found out came away with the victory. As Valley takes down the home team, basically, Fort Dodge, 3-0. So the winners of today's contest, Waukee, Johnston, Valley, and then waiting to see how this one plays out between Kennedy and Iowa City High. So Valley awaits the winner of this game, and Fort Dodge will play the loser of the contest at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and then 7:30 for the semifinal matchup. The other semifinal matchup between Waukee and Johnston will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night over on Kruger Seeds Field, while the consolation game will be at 1:30 over on Kruger Seeds, as that one eats up Deputy a little bit. It'll interesting to see if they view that as a hit or as an error. And it is viewed as an error. So the 4th error of the ball game for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Fredericks now comes to the plate. And it's unfortunate play there after we've seen some great defense from Deputy over in the hot corner.
She's made at least 4, maybe 5 good plays on tougher plays than that one. There's another one.
Charges in on the sack bunt attempt, able to fire over to first. Sack bunt advances Borman to second. Borman with arguably the biggest hit of the ball game, as she had that 2 RBI double earlier in the contest. That kind of just opened the floodgates for this team, for the Iowa City High Little Hawks, as it came with 2 outs as well. If she'd gotten out, this game would have been very different. It's a huge case of what if. They're at different parts.
That happened in the 3 games that I've seen this afternoon. It happened with the Oskaloosa game.
This one hit down the third base line. Foul. Jeff Koenig, the head coach for
nice grab.
The City High. We've seen a couple of those.
Mid-bounce. No glove. He's not going to tell you that his hand's hurting, though. That's why he's hiding it behind him. You wonder if Kinney had started for Cedar Rapids, if the results would have been different. You coulda, shoulda.
Hit up the middle by Ribble will advance Borman over to third. Now runners on the corners with just 1 out. And that was another one, not necessarily the hardest hit ball. It was just the location, and that's been the case so much today for the Little Hawks.
Getting it in the right spot. Not necessarily a hot shot, but getting it in the right spot. Tough to make a play. Number 9 hitter is up now for City High. This one's fouled. Off the foot, and that hurts. Off the lead foot.
Bentler with a big double her last time up, came around to score a run. She's reached twice today, both times scoring.
Line score shows 9 runs, 10 hits for City High. No runs, 4 hits, and 4 big errors by the Cougars of Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
And the biggest thing is that they haven't given a lot of free bases via the walk.
No.
Today they had a walk and a hit by pitch earlier in the game, both to Ayanna Lindsay. But outside of that, it's been just well-placed hits, and then the 4 errors. Those have allowed for several extra bases that have continued to build on top of each other. Speaking of Ayanna Lindsay, she's also on deck right now, and she's coming to the plate as Bentler goes down swinging. Lindsay with her 5th trip to the plate, has scored twice today, has been on base 3 times, has a pair of steals as well, and is yet to get a hit.
Go figure.
She's officially 0 for 2 on the day. Hit by pitch, a walk, and also reached on an error.
2 runs scored.
Yeah. And that's just kind of been the case of how this game has gone for Cedar Rapids Kennedy.
It is. They'll play tomorrow, that's for sure. Unless they can have a big bottom of the 7th inning.
And that's ripped up the middle. And you know, we were talking that she didn't have a hit. Change that as she rips that one straight up the middle. 4th time she's been on base today. And she also gets credit with the RBI and makes it 10-0.
Borman scored on the play.
Second run of the game for Brooke Borman.
Now this is going to work to Kennedy's advantage because of the speed of Lindsay. She has a runner on at second, so she doesn't have the free base.
First pitch is in there at the knees to Cook. Cook's had a solid game, 2 for 4 so far with an RBI and a run scored. Waiting on deck is Koenig, who has probably had the best night of any player here. 3 for 4, 3 RBIs and a run.
City High coach, though, is probably going to say, listen, I don't care if she didn't get a hit. Look what she's done on the mound. No runs, 4 hits. Working on getting them into the semifinals.
And she did actually end up with the hit, which is the biggest thing. 1 hit and an RBI.
There you
She's
go.
more than helped out her cause at the plate today. Literally took one for the team with a hit by pitch earlier. This is a dribbler over to third. Deputy comes up firing, and a good stretch by number 38, Mary Kristofiak, over at first. So 5-3 ground out finally ends the inning, but not before they score another run. And we're going to take a short break and be right back here with the potential conclusion of this one, barring a huge comeback.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Base hit and walk and a line out.
Bottom of the 7th, it's do or die now right here for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. They need 10 runs or this game is over. 10 runs, 11 hits so far in the game for Iowa City High. 0 runs, 4 hits for Kennedy in this ball game.
Waukee, Johnston, and Valley are in the semis in Class 5A, and they play tomorrow night.
Dennis able to check her swing on that one. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dennis trying to avoid going down 3 times as she struck out twice today. Comes up empty on that swing. Lizzie Dennis, a junior this year for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. And the biggest thing is, even if this is the end of Cedar Rapids Kennedy run this year, they still have had an incredible season and bring back all of their starters. Just 2 seniors on this team, and both of them come off the bench.
There's going to be a couple teams in each class that are going to go home with their last game as a win. Out of the consolations, and, well, actually, there could be 3. You got 2 consolation games, then you got the semifinals.
That pitch high and inside for ball number 3, so a full count here to Dennis. Dennis trying to get on base for the first time and keep this game going. Fouls that one off. So they'll come back and do it again. Full count, no one out. First batter of the bottom of the 7th.
There's probably no one more disappointed than Jamie Scheck, because she was rolling on the mound, and then all of a sudden the bridge gave way.
That's a walk, so the first time that Dennis has gotten on base. And I believe that is the second official walk issued, as well as the intentional walk by. So 3 total walks.
3 unintentional walks.
First pitch to the other Scheck, number 19. That is Sam Scheck. Got to leave potentially twin sister of Jamie Scheck, as both sophomores this year. Steal attempt here from Dennis. Throw not in time, apparently, as they're going to call Dennis safe.
She timed her slide perfectly and was under the tag.
10th
That's
stolen,
what looked from here.
10th stolen base of the year for number 23, Lizzie Dennis. Only the second player with double-digit steals on the year for Kennedy. That one's fouled off by Scheck. Top of the order in Parker on deck. And if they're able to keep the inning going, we'll have Albert and Kinney following that. And they've done a great job with Kailyn Kinney today. 0 for 2. Another foul ball by Scheck, able to stay alive.
About ready to wrap this one up. Lindsay wants to shut it down right here, bottom of the 7th.
Looking for the complete game shutout. This is a floater out to first, and it's off the first baseman's glove. And Scheck caught between first and second. They're going to call her safe. Say that she got back in time, so first and third, no one out.
Say that's probably an error on the first baseman.
More than likely, as that was an easy pop fly. But I think it might have just gotten caught in the lights.
They did call the error. Now Iowa City would like to keep Kennedy at 0. And that's why the coach is out talking with everybody. They can sense it, they can feel it, but they got to complete it.
So runners on the corners, and you've got number 25, Addie Parker, coming to the plate. Her 4th trip to the plate in this game. 1 for 2 officially. Also a walk and a double. And a big RBI opportunity here. Still no one out in the inning. Addie Albert on deck. Following her is Kailyn Kinney. This one's hit right over to second. It will score a run, so it will not go as a shutout. Parker's out at first, but picks up the RBI. And it is Dennis coming in to score the first run of the game for Kennedy. Addie Albert now to the plate. She's had a frustrating day, 0 for 2 with the sack bunt. Kailyn Kinney waits on deck. This one's hit foul, so 1-1 count now to the right fielder. Albert Jr. on this year's, Addie Albert, a 8th grader, playing up this year and has had a fantastic season with a .418 average coming into today's contest. That ball's a little bit low.
2-1. That second out, always in the last inning, seems to be the toughest one to get.
Lindsay delivers to home plate. This one fouled out of play by Albert. So that evens it up at 2-2. 8 strikeouts in the game for Lindsay, looking for number 9. This one fouled. It'll stay in play, but will still land safely.
It's not been a matter either of Kennedy being free swingers up there. They've gone after some good pitches, just haven't been able to make the contact.
Lindsay looking for the payoff pitch. This one ripped right to the second baseman, and that'll be the second out here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring Kailyn Kinney to the plate for one final at bat. As you see, can hear the Kennedy fans a little disappointed, but Iowa City High very hyped as they're looking forward to being able to play against West Des Moines Valley in a pair of big upsets here in the state tournament. Kinney at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Big swing on that one, a foul ball. She's grounded out to the pitcher and lined out to center field in this contest. Lindsay trying to close this one out. This one ripped foul. It's now 0-2.
Potentially one pitch away from ending the game.
And if you're Lindsay, I don't think you really care how you end it, but you'd probably prefer to end it on a strikeout with how you played today. Lindsay delivers to home. That one's high and inside. 1-2, 2 gone, and a runner on second. This one's ripped past the shortstop, and they're going to send Scheck home, and that will be a big RBI for Kinney. If anything, just to allow her to get a little smile. Scheck comes around to score, and that'll be the second run of the game.
Got 2 outs now. Time to get the third one. We're going to maybe have a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
And we do.
Guess.
It is number 42 coming to the contest, Izzy Dipple. Member substitutions in today's game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Abby Sporer, 1 for 2 on the day with a walk as well. Look over to first after the pitch.
Kinney wanted to fire that rocket down to first base. First baseman, though, Cook was playing back.
Another throw over, and that's going to do it here in this game. As Dipple is picked off, and that is going to send Iowa. Final score here is 10-2 in favor of the Iowa City High Little Hawks. And what a game we saw for them offensively, as well as on the mound for Ayanna Lindsay. 8 strikeouts for her, and only 2 runs allowed, both of them coming here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good pitching performance by Ayanna Lindsay, and you look back to that 4th inning when they sent 12 to the plate, scored 7, and that put the game away.
And looking at it, it should have been a 3-2 ball game potentially.
Correct.
Things could have worked out very differently with that error. Extra bases killing them. So final score, 10-2, 10 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error for Iowa City High. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 4 costly errors for Cedar Rapids Kennedy. On behalf of our color analyst, Lance Reno, our producer, Ruben Garza, and all of us here in Fort Dodge, I'm Tyler French signing off. Thanks for watching our live coverage of the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network.